guys, let's talk birthday theme shoots. So when you're doing these type of shoots, you have to have a solidified plan going into these shoots. You need to be purpose driven. You need to be doing everything with a purpose, with a meaning, because these shoots can sometimes be time consuming. A lot of planning and execution is involved in the back end before the shoot actually takes place. So I'm going to run you guys through a couple of things that I think is essential when you're actually planning a shoot like this. And in order to execute it correctly, you need all these different parts to fall into place. And one of the first things straight off the bat you have to do is have an action plan. Have some sort of plan, an idea what your client wants to create. So what I always do is I would revert back to the client. I would get the client to go on to sites like Pinterest, like Instagram, and look for ideas as to what they want to actually create. Once you get those ideas together, that's when you can start planning your shoot out. And the next step is to start planning out the shoot. You're going to start looking at things such as outfits, location, background, lighting, whether you need a makeup artist, a stylist, what kind of props you may potentially need, backdrop color, what color backdrop does the theme entail, or what color backdrop you would want to actually use throughout the shoot. Would you need more than one backdrop? Would you need 2 to 3 backdrops? The next phase is to actually work out whether you want to involve things such as a stylist, a hairstylist, a makeup artist, asking the client, do they need all these other stuff? Because having something like a professional makeup artist, a professional stylist can actually be, beneficial for you and your whole process. Good thing with this particular shoot that I did here with Taylor is Taylor actually is a hairdresser. So she came with her hair already done and she already pre-did our makeup as well, so that obviously speed up the process for me in terms of when she arrived. Obviously, again, we had already gone over the ideas, so I knew exactly what I was doing. So that brings me to my next point, which is preparation on the day of the shoot. You want to arrive earlier than your actual model, earlier than your subject, and you want to start prepping and preparing, setting up your lighting, setting up your backdrops, figuring out your props, etc. And you want to get this done ahead of time. You want to get this done before the model arrives. So when the model does arrive or your client arrive, you're pretty much ready to go. So you get them all settled in and then you're pretty much ready to go, ready to shoot. So you're not actually wasting time. Lens and camera combination isn't as important, but it can be useful to actually have the correct lens, and choosing the right lens, will give you much more versatility depending on what you actually shoot, because, you want to give yourself the ability to capture full length shots as well as close-up shots. So for me, I would recommend either the 28 to 75 Tamron 2.8, or you can go with something like a 24 to 70 if you've got one of those available with a 2.8. You don't actually need to be 2.8. Anything from 24 onwards, you can even get a 24 to 105 lens as well. That will still do the job and be very, very useful, because with that versatility within the range between 28 to 75 or 24 to 70, that gives you that flexibility of actually come in and out, capturing some wide shots as well as capturing some nice detailed close-up shots. So figuring out what focal length to use is obviously important, and if I was to recommend, I would recommend a 24 to 70 or something like a 28 to 75. Let's talk lighting. Again, coming off of the back of the preparation and coming early, you want to get your lighting set up and your lighting dialed in before the client actually arrives. Coming in and getting your lighting all set up and ready before your model arrive is going to be actually useful for you, because again, you've got all your settings dialed in. Yes, you may need to tweak it once the model is actually on set and in frame and you start taking images, so you may have to tweak it slightly, but at least chimping, so you're not constantly like this behind your camera, or thinking while the model's in front of you or in front of your camera, you're not messing around with camera settings or messing around with lighting settings. You have this all dialed in. And the next thing you want to do is try and make the shoot fun. Try and make it enjoyable. Again, it's a party vibe. You want to give a party vibe. You want to put some music on in the background. Make sure that the model picks something that they like and something that they're currently vibing to, because that will get them into the right sort of frame of mind. I always talk about this in my videos, how important it is to actually have music in the background playing, and that obviously sets the client, the model at ease, so that they can actually take their mind away from the actual photo shoot aspect of it and just enjoy the session. If you enjoy this type of video and you like to see more videos like this where I use one light to create amazing images, click on this video here, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.